believe that is functioning as intended. I cannot see it on the overlay. It's pinwheeling. Everything's pinwheeling. Hang on. Movement? Movement. Okay. I was already worried that 9 p.m. was too late to start, and I'm even late for that, so... I apologize. I need to unfuck my setup for a bit. We will be starting momentarily. How you doing? What are you wearing? Where should we start? Probably the Witcher tech demo. That is the oldest of the things we're going to be covering today. Or tonight. Might be this morning for your goddamn time zone. I don't know anymore. Time is an illusion. Eventually things are going to stay functional, and I'm going to learn how to be a good liar about it. Okay, and let me see if we can just... That's not appearing. Why is that not appearing? There it is. Okay. Oh, hang on. I gotta get myself out of the way. That's not blocking too much of the real estate now, is it? A little less. Yeah, fuck it. More. I am so sorry for dragging you out of bed at this ungodly hour. I'm not blocking the chat, am I? I'm still fixing layers. Stream Elements decided, fuck that. No. Actually, no, Stream Elements did exactly decide, fuck that. Okay, the chat box is over me, so I'm not blocking it. The video's not blocking that either. Okay. And you take this down to, let's say, 5%, because, again, what I'm hearing versus what you're hearing, the different levels are courtesy of OBS. Which means I need to set that back to 20.7 below, or 21.7. Keep things approximately balanced. Oh, hang on. Besides, you had to get up at this time. I am so sorry. But I feel like I'm afflicting you with at least part of that. So, OBS won't let me select 21.7 unless I have the window at half my screen resolution. So I can't full screen it. Why? Don't know. Could I have just right-clicked it and put in the number manually? Possibly. Okay, I got 2 pills in front of me I'm supposed to take right now. What's the time? Yeah. Why am I apologizing anyway? It's not my fault you have to get up this early. I don't know your schedule. I just have a guilt complex. Yeah, it's almost 9:30 for me. I'll take it all at once. Ugh. Hydrate. I am taking my meds. Stop feeling guilty. Easy fix. I was raised in a deeply religious family with strong connections to my mother. Guilt is mandatory. Okay, I can turn off all this noise now, actually. All of it. Yep. Yeah. Sounds like a me problem? It is. It's also a problem for myriad denominations of Abrahamic religions. And sons. Too many people. I wouldn't go so far as to say a quarter of the human race. Clearly, most people don't suffer from guilt. They might even enjoy it. Sick bastards. Okay. Let me just see here. No, the window resolution changed again. I need to move this. Okay. I'm the sickest one of all, literally. Oh, you knew what some of those meant? Some of those words meant? Whatever. Whatever then. Fine. Okay, I do believe we are no longer imploding. Let's just check here. Check here. Notification still didn't get sent out. Well, now it has. Ready for me to pause and take some nominally coherent notes? Ready for me to skip commercials at a gaming expo that got zilch to do with gaming? You're in luck. Summer Games Fest has begun. Furthermore, the Microsoft conference started today. I thought it was starting on the 9th. It started today. So I got even more stuff to catch up on. So, for those of you keeping score at home, we have why are my M keys not working? There they go. Okay. And now, at minimum, today we are going to be doing 3 of these 6 conferences. And keep in mind, we still have dedicated PlayStation Day. Nintendo's probably going to be doing a direct shortly. Love the typing. You could listen to that for hours. What keyboard do I have? I'll see if I can pull up a link to it, but this keyboard's probably about 10 years old. I don't know if they sell it anymore. Oh my shit. Is that the correct one? I think it is. This keyboard, when I got it, full price, $35. Now a refurbished unit, secondhand on Amazon, $106. But if you'd rather just look up the model, it is the Omen by HP wired USB gaming keyboard 1100. And what was the release year on this? Why can't I get a release year on this? I'll go to the HP support site. Maybe they'll have a listing. No, this is all just troubleshooting stuff. I just want details on the keyboard itself. Thank you. I can count. I know how many keys are on this keyboard. That's not what I asked for. Ugh. Never mind, you'll stick to a cheap media market one? Much better off for it. Again, I got this keyboard not just conveniently it was cheap, because it was cheap. Okay, I can't get an exact year off of the model info, but I can safely say it was 2018 at the latest, and I think it was 2016. So this keyboard's got to be ballpark 9 years old. You'd rather spend your money on more useful things like games, infinitely more so, absolutely. HP has to have, well, actually, HP specifically doesn't have to have mechanical keyboards in that same price range for the same quality anymore. But somebody does. There are entire boutique keyboard sellers where they know you're going to buy extra keycaps, so they will sell the keyboard at a loss. Boutique keycaps. Conveniently, not a problem I have. I could only imagine, too. Like, for a guy, those will last you a while, but just my model, if I had claws like this, like just your generic secretary office lady, I would be scratching through these keycaps by now. You can see, Viva Italiano, you can see that some of the keys where I rest my hands have been infused with a permanent coat of oil. It makes them nice and glossy black. Which is weird that it didn't happen with the red, but I guess that's matted with a different material. Huh. But yeah, you can tell it's in my typing resting position, not my gaming resting position. Did my Italian ancestors just possess me? They are always here. They are doubling down when I'm cooking, but they are always here. They know when to roam in and out. But let's get a pizza the other action, shall we? So, why did my notes hide? What window are they in right now? Okay, they're back. Besides long nails, ain't a problem with good keyboards. Speaking from experience, technician. Oh, fair enough. I just know from one of my favorite streamers, Kirsha. She's talked about how she keeps her nails long, and not even like fake nails, like real nails. Those should not be that grating, like texture-wise, and how she's carving the letters off of her keys. So I don't have a feminine hand, never mind fully equipped claws. You know, unless you count these. So, I don't use these on my keyboard, though. I'm not blocking too much of it. You know, make it a little smaller. Yeah. Gosh, you wish your natural nails could grow longer than a millimeter. My nails, when I was probably 14, 15 maybe, I could grow them out to probably 2/3 of an inch past the edge of my finger, and they would still be remotely durable. Uh, I think I tried sharpening them into like teardrops or like points, basically. More koala-like, literally. I'm gonna try and convert the metric for you. I think that would be the equivalent to. I'm ballparking looking at my hands right now. I think that would have been like 1.3 centimeters, maybe 1.5. Why do men get stronger nails? That's not fair. It's just like women who buy curling irons versus hair straighteners. Curly bitches want straight hair, straight bitches want curly hair. And the wavy haired bitches hate them both. For real. I wish I could say I was exaggerating. Hate crime? It's nature, baby. Nature doesn't hate. It's just ambivalent. Okay, so we are going to start with the CD Projekt Red tech demo trailer for The Witcher 4. And I've heard people making a bit of a ruckus that this is not representative of gameplay because it's just a tech demo. I agree with them. It does give us an idea for the art direction they're pursuing, and if they're making any modifications to, say, level design, we can extrapolate from here. But as far as just full-on gameplay extrapolations, I'd like everybody to remember what Watch Dogs 1 looked like in its tech demo. And then when the game came out in 2012. We still don't have a Watch Dogs that looks as good as the Watch Dogs 1 tech demo, and they've had 3-4 Watch Dogs games since. Tech demo is representative, it is not indicative, if I can phrase it that way. This will give us an idea, it is not going to be full-bore communication of what's already in development. So, with that, let's hit play. Natural hate crimes? Let's get unnatural here. Let's go to a mystical fantasy land called Poland. And away we go. I need to turn this up, actually. Hang on. The volume's not going to change on your end while I do this. Windows noises. Warning. Actually, you don't have to hear the Windows noises. Tell me if that worked or not. Did you hear any Windows noises? I'm a generous God. I tried to save you. You swear to God, sometimes you ask yourself how I even know to use a PC? No Windows noises. Perfect. It actually worked for once. Look, here's the thing. The window, ordinarily, I keep my media player window at 50% in order to record with the OBS balancing. The OBS, by the way, which is at negative 20 decibels. OBS recording minus 20 decibels, I have to set the recording window to 5 as opposed to 50, and now, as opposed to my normal listening volume on Windows, in terms of like the OS volume scaling, I set that to either 12 or 16. Right now I just had to crank it to 42 to compensate for the low volumes on everything else, with the minus decibels and the reduced video player. What the fuck? I wish I could tell you that my setup wasn't held together with duct tape, chewing gum, twine, and a dream. But it is. Things work because I force them to work. There is a plan at work here, but I'm not the one pulling the strings. Honestly, you believe it? Believe this. These are nice particle effects and all, but I do have some concern because they are shifting away from the Red engine and moving to Unreal 5. Personally, I liked the Red engine. Not for any practical reason. I just like the idea that not everybody is putting all their eggs into the Unreal basket. Polish engineering. The only things staying together are the coins. Well, together as in tactile, not uniformly bagged. Oh, look, it's Buckbeak. You really hit the brick after Prisoners of Azkaban. Mashallah, you mean kurva. Suka, bliat. Ooh. Siri got a bit of a glow up compared to the previous trailer. I need to see more angles, though, more lighting. Yeah, I don't know anybody with an ultra-wide monitor split up into 7 panels. How representative. No, Bliat is Russian. Tisk can't even get that right. Yeah, because it was stolen from the Russians. You think I'm gonna let the Russians keep good swear words? No. That's what your dad's setup looks like? Is your dad a Tetris block? By their powers combined, they have one full head of hair. Obsessed with flight simulations. I guess his midlife crisis didn't exactly crash and burn then. If only I knew. Well, I know I have untold skepticism that this demo is supposedly running on a base model PS5. I call hacks. In Unreal 5 tech demo, the loading screen alone would cause the PS5 to turn into a jet engine. Oh, what's her sword called? Zirael? It's been a while. Let me see if I can crank the resolution on this. What's it playing back at automatically? Oh, 720p? Fuck no. Give me 4K 60. That's better. Meanwhile, Roach, how dare you stand where he stood? You better not get on any rooftops. Congratulations, they found ways for NPCs to match walking speed. I feel like Assassin's Creed 2 needs to have a word in here, even though it wasn't quite as much mounted versus followed. Nobody's allowed to tout the realism of their horse models after Rockstar did Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm sorry. Unless you are on the same level of having your genitalia shrink or swell based on the in-game weather at that time, you are behind the curve. Feature should be in any game, honestly. I think my GPU just had a heart attack looking at all those triangles. Who cares? Last time you checked, horse girls weren't into video games like that. You'd be surprised. What's it called? Uma Masame? Horse girl anime? There's a bit of an overlap. You know, from a distance, I was thinking this doesn't look as good as Skyrim Special Edition circa 2016 with basic modding, but this is a theoretical base game depiction, and you can actually render out more than 10 feet in front of your face. Hey, Sora! Welcome to me mocking the polls. You don't want to accept the horse girl agenda. I'm sorry, I should be responding to that, but I'm looking at the visuals. Very pretty trees. We don't have loading screens, we just have panning landscape views. Horse girl agenda, where an anime is based off a bunch of actual horses, and they're just assigned basically human personas. Flesh sonas. It already exists. One way to hide the loading screen. I wouldn't mind that, honestly, if the landscapes stay pretty. Cave cutscenes overdone. Oh yeah, especially when you have to walk perpendicular to two enclosed walls that basically no full-grown American could fit between. Like, you need a French ballerina sucking in her gut to fit in those walls. And somehow Kratos is hiding a loading screen in there. Sure, yeah, thanks God of Ragnarok. Nord of War, Dad of War, call it what you want. NPCs are very... Oh. Good reactivity on the individual apples. And you can see it just actually disappear as soon as the child touches it, not be picked up. So I believe this slightly more. You can see that, right? Like, watch the child's right hand. The apple disappears, and then it is, like, tethered onto the hand instead. And you can see it again behind the child, being added to, like, a pocket or a satchel or something. I know I'm doing a lot of yapping, but I am actually paying attention. Just not to the important things. Snow particulates are going through the roofs at a glance. So it's blowing through the tent, maybe? That's how physics work? Maybe with children. I don't have a representative available. This is an 18+ stream, by the way. Naughty words. No physics-breaking ankle biters. They're showing a lot of different walk cycles for the NPCs as well. It's not just the typical distinction of, say, having one or two per male and female, varying on body stature, and then per the male and female distinction, it's usually just an accent in the hip swagger. Let me just roll that back a second. Yeah, they don't displace the model that's actually showing where the fish was previously. They just pull one through the previous
And there
fish.
is tons of tech at play here. Really simple market stall, metahuman tools, improved Unreal Smart Objects, chaos
That time
scripting,
they did,
more.
though. Interesting.
And all of
Or
this
maybe the
is
first time they
done
just
with
had two
smart
models that were in
scalable
similar position
mechanisms,
overlaid.
PCs as small as possible. Yeah, and closing that gap is not just about fidelity, right, but also authenticity.
Shadows are
Characters respond to
very...
changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in Pillar isn't exciting enough to
like, they're a bit
continue.
overly sharp. But yeah, you
Let's
have
talk
the
about
models
the
popping in.
shadows.
Okay. The models seem... The shadows are what I'm focusing on right now. Those seem overly sharp given the diffusion of light across the space.
But a great performance deserves a huge crowd love. Let's crank it up.
Fire effects still not great, but it's unreal.
So you are seeing tons of optimizations here to many of Unreal systems, including an
You
entirely
tell me you
new
got that many Witcher
high-fidelity animation
NPCs
engine framework,
on Unreal
all with
5, on a
massive
base
performance,
PlayStation
tight
5.
budget,
I'm gonna call you a
smooth
liar.
rendering, but also with room
Maybe
for
if you were
improvement.
incredibly zoomed out and they're minimal
300
detail.
animated skeletal mesh agents, all going about their business.
Too many variables,
And
too many
that's
individual
all
models for that.
breathing
I don't
room
buy it.
for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your viewers expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You're right. That's the open world RPG that we're making. But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with Siri? We are making this game the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever. But we are making this a reality thanks to
The only
you.
way to know if they lie or not, are their pants on fire?
I think what
It's a
we're doing
festival, I don't
here
think all of them
is
even have
creating a new
pants.
generation of open
I'm not
world
talking about the
gamers.
women.
And I'm so proud of what we accomplished so far.
We are too.
So we're almost done, but before we go, here's a small gift for all Witcher fans. A first look at Blood Exit.
I'm gonna say this. I do think they made some improvements on her face, comparing at least the proportions of the cheek jowls and jawline compared to the previous trailer. Also, they do seem to have restored her previous crown line, or how would you phrase that? I'm not sure if it was that the slope of her skull was overly presented in the previous trailer, or if this time they just went back to the previous model. Because if they are trying to present Ciri as having advanced in age from Witcher 3, she does appear younger than the previous trailer as well. But I do think they could keep the age without having necessarily the distortion of the lower half of her face. They have made improvements, though. I'll give them that. It's just, I don't know if they're going to achieve the result they originally set out for because people were so outraged at the de-beautifying that had seen some level of discussion after the first trailer. It's an Unreal Tech demo for a game that we basically don't have anything materially representative of yet, so I'll go back to what I did think was genuinely impressive. Let's see here.
Wild nature is hard. And with nanite geometry, we freed artists
Now,
from
even
the
before
limits
going
of
into the
limitations.
nanite geometry, this is a lot of floor level foliage that I think deserves credit because of the varying depictions of thickness of foliage. You have the shrubbery, you have tall grass, you have red flora, you have several depictions on the lower right quadrant of the screen where you have branches that appear from fallen lumber that still have foliage there on top of a snowy tundra-like surface. We're going to need to see something more representative of, let's call it, an Arctic tundra. But even just here, before they show all the triangles and the geometry, this is already looking like they have a solid variety of vegetation to pull from. None to mention the trees. One thing I would like to see with the trees, if they do maintain this kind of biodiversity, would be that they react differently to your elemental infusions. Like, let's say, stricken by lightning, whether or not it will course up and down the tree, versus fire, would you even be able to burn certain types of trees in certain biomes? Would it be the tree is too moist and sappy to catch fire? Or would it be that if the tree is used as some sort of an incandescent agent, would it be more likely to combust, whether it's oily or even just overly dry from exposure to a desert from, or not a desert, phrase, from an arid desert, from a hot desert, compared to an Arctic desert. I sure have high hopes. These were the things that used to be promised to us. I came from an era where Peter Molyneux, back in ye olden days of Fable 1, would talk about how, did you loot an acorn off this enemy? No, you left it with him? Well, he dropped that acorn. Maybe that acorn stays seated in the earth, and because the acorn is in the ground, it's an area where there's rain, that acorn could grow into a tree, and you could come back here at various stages of the game and see that tree go into a sapling, grow into a twig, into a full-on oak tree, or an acorn tree, whatever. We got lied to hard. And now we're getting Fable 4, and people can't even agree whether or not they made somebody deliberately ugly. Yeah. We had that same discussion with Siri, however, though, so. Do you think any company cares enough about their players that much? Right now, I think if FromSoft gave a shit about vegetation in their worlds, yes. Like, if they want to revisit the Scarlet Rot and turned an entire game into just a fungal biome, I could actually see them pulling it off. Make it like the varying degrees of Scarlet Rot progression are various degrees of vegetation, and yeah. I could definitely see FromSoft doing that if they cared to. But that's not what FromSoft games are about. Are there any other plant games I could think of? Or remotely vegetation adjacent? What was the name of that flower from Conker's Bad Fur Day? I know somebody wants to germinate that flower, so maybe I leave it to... I think that's still tied up in Nintendo's publishing rights, though. Never mind. It'd be a very rare find.
Everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do, and foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle. So we are excited to introduce...
This is impressive, what they're showing off in the tech demo right now. Whatever they are painting over the geometry right now, this is not going to be more than hopes and dreams for the full game. But this... if they can make all of this run on a base model PS5, I'm going to eat crow. Because I don't buy it. I don't believe it. But if they can, they have Polish magic, man. The Witcher's not fantasy anymore. They actually have goddamn Witcher powers. I don't know how they're going to make that work. Looks too good to be true, honestly. We'll have to see, because I have to imagine that certain elements, like, let's say, the overhang, the branches, a lot of the vegetation in the area, these are no longer going to be collisionable objects once you actually get into the combat sections of the game. So I'm going to operate under the suspicion that we're just looking at this in terms of visual modeling, not in terms of, like, physical interactivity. Because I don't think I have insane expectations for what can be done in a video game world compared to what video game devs have been telling me ever since we first gained the ability to move in a 3D space. Makes more sense? Yeah? Okay, I'm not completely off my rocker then.
And
Also, can I say this? The water actually looks fairly convincing.
everywhere, while still being memory efficient, fast to render,
It's not great. You can see the foaming over to the left of the riverbank.
foliage density everywhere.
Like, right over the, there's a bit of a bend, then there's a standing stone just below the, off-angle log in the way. The water does seem to be
While still
fairly
being
competent.
efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea was needed.
You can also see it reacting to the presence of the bear there, the shadow casting it, while maintaining the aquatic deformations.
We've been using for the past 20 years needed. So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the past 20 years, artists should be free to take a
I want to get another look at the water in the harbor section.
Can now slide trade behind
Might as well look at some of the NPCs on the way.
shady characters or overkill gossip from other lands. It's also where Chile to compare current contracts. High-tech, let's leave Kelpie here and explore the marketplace. I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff. Let's see what Vargas has to offer.
The guy on the signpost trying to peel off there, I don't know if... Yeah, the foot movement on that guy coming off the signpost. There's a bit of steering there that feels... Look at the feet. Feels like he's either been stuck there, like he's sinking in mud, or they just had a bit of a jag in getting his model to reposition in reference to the player character.
Guys, notice how responsive the world is. Guys, notice how responsive the world is. Character actions directly affect what happens around you. Sometimes it
Once more with the child teleporting the apple.
directly affects what happens around you.
Yeah, I do think that apple is, unless my eyes are deceiving me, that's probably one of the most realistic tech elements of the trailer, where it's like they're displacing it because you're theoretically not looking at a model that is so brief and so small. So, all those individual collisionable objects, are any of those impacted by Ciri's cape or feet?
Notice how responsive the world
It doesn't look like they're responsive to that, so... The idea that they're being dropped and thus moving on the sloped surface, and the NPCs will interact with them, and the fact that the player character is just walking over them, doing nothing, that seems like the most realistically tech side of this. Which, I appreciate. It's the bits of, should it work that way? No. Does it work that way? Yes, and it's better than most things that are out there. So I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and say the idea of bumping an NPC carrying a bindle and actually making them drop the individual objects contained in that bindle, I believe that.
everything is working together. Oh, look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an entry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at once.
Hang on.
Being taught how to fly by an entry innkeeper. That's what happens. Gentleman being taught how to fly by an entry innkeeper. This poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an entry innkeeper. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's a bit on the less, gradual side.
Being taught how to fly by an entry innkeeper.
Let me actually slow that down to 25%.
Being taught how to.
I can mute that. You don't need to hear his voice slow down. Yeah, it only seems like they have that phased out into two sections where You get one splash, then a second splash. It's not like the gradual current being carried while you're moving across the body of water. So, I don't know how often you can expect reasonably to encounter small bodies of water inside of a populated settlement, but it seems like for areas they don't expect you to interact with the water, it's very visually competent, but I need to see more collision with an actual NPC. Ideally, even the player character. We're not going to get that in this tech demo, though. Show me the water.
Okay, so this is the guy who came to the street to quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
Nothing remarkable with the water here, but it's competent.
Typical day's toil.
I don't think you need an S added onto the Witcher. Like, just Witcher is fine, but it's also medieval Poland, so... I blame the Europeans for attaching genders to so many objects. I'm an American. I hate that the French have gendered a goddamn chair. I don't get a good view of the water here. Hang on. Let's skip ahead a little bit more. Take it back. Yeah, you can see the deformation of shadows with the... the French are bad with oh yeah, the French are bad with gendering. Be glad I don't speak German then. I am glad that America has accidentally stumbled into the version of English where we gender effectively nothing. Because in America, people forget things like peafowl versus peacock. It's like, one's the male word, one's the female word. But what about, like, a mare versus a stallion or whatever the fuck? We have people who can't even get the idea that a pony is not a baby horse right. They don't remember that foul or full is. I have English for stupid people. We got rid of all the extra letters you don't need. The second I see a U in color, I know we are on opposite sides of something. But yeah, this section has us speeding over the water, so it's hard to make a judgment. But I will say that for what little moment we get, this is competent water. It's not bad, it's not great. I was more interested in the churning water that you see in the earlier section with the bear crossing a log. I'm wrong? Well, you're subtracting letters to try and communicate quickly in chat, so it sounds like English, American English, is just another step on the path to where you ended up. Now, what? F you? Well, 2 letters well spent. Would you like to complete the rest of your Scrabble word? One thing I want to see is that since they're putting such an emphasis on the particle physics for the snow here, and it does seem like they've got more unique shapes for the snowflakes, I want to see if the water has any reaction to the... or if anything has a reaction to the particles, if there's collision on them or not. Like, would they generally accumulate over time? Would they have some kind of ripple effect in the water? Would it only have that effect if you're in a certain area with certain weather densities? Surprisingly, we don't get any flat reflective surfaces in this, unless you count eyeballs. Like, I was expecting, like, a sheet of ice, a frozen lake, something. But, unless I missed it, we didn't see any glass in that village. Which might be period appropriate, but... we don't get a close look at it, but you can see there's still windows. Just a question as to whether or not those are all grids or if there is anything solid in them. Looks like those are all wood composite windows, though. And you get some, what could be ice blocks, could be salt blocks in the market. The steel is not showing, like, full-on reflections. It's got reflective elements with the light, but... yeah, I figured a flat reflective surface would have been somewhere in here, as long as we're just showing off a tech demo. There's no gameplay in here. It's all tech demo. I guess if they were going to use a flat reflective surface, it would just end up RTX on, RTX off. Never mind the fact that we had working mirrors in Duke Nukem, was it 3D? Postal 1? Postal 2? It's been a while, but I do remember working mirrors in video games before ray tracing got brought to the forefront. But yeah, in general, I'd say this tech demo gives off the vibe I would expect from a Witcher game. I'm not particularly impressed, but does show potential, so I would need to see more before this gives me anything other than a reaffirmation they improved the main player character model. I'm sorry to say that's the best I can do. It does show potential in some areas, like when we expose the geometry for the forest foliage, when we get to see the individual objects falling out of the bindle, and then being stolen by a child. Underage theft makes every tech demo better. But yeah, for you wondering why I don't trust this... no, I want the one from 2012? 2011? Hang on. 2012, yeah, this should be it. This right here. I know I'm at the right video because of this goddamn overhang. All these extra light bulbs. You get to the full game, not only is there a reduction in just visual density, they're not even protruding objects. It is just flat with circles on it. Hey Loki, how you doing? I'm just going over why I don't trust tech demos, because we just went over the Witcher 1, 2... I can't count. Witcher 4 tech demo. At least I didn't say 3. It only took 3 tries, and I didn't use the number 3. Yeah, I'm gonna crank the speed on this, but I'm also muting it. We don't need to hear what's happening here. Back to kindergarten I go. Ugh, bold of you to assume they'd let me in. And yeah, we are sped up, so it might not stick out to you the level of detail we're looking at here from a Ubisoft tech demo from 2012. But this was very subdued UI for the time. A lot of clarity on the text, even in that distance. And this overhang, this fucking roof, this is what fucks me up the most, because they actually kept this area in the game. They just made it monumentally more boring. Exponentially more boring. The idea that you could hack these screens, you could hack everything electronic in the overworld, and they would have such subtle UI leading to the interactivity. If you think I had unrealistic expectations with the different types of tree interactions with different elements, I'd like to point to this, because this was offering you the ability to hack every electronic device in an entire city in 2012. Like, you could hack a guy's pacemaker to give him a heart attack so you can make him die, or at least get hospitalized, without ever having to touch him. This game was promising the sun and stars, and Watch Dogs 1 happened. Those people loved their players, that's different. This is Ubisoft. This is the French in 2012. Maybe you want to say Ubisoft Montreal or something. Still French Canadians. Look at that. You don't even see the trains on the goddamn metro above you on the bridge. But you can still get the option to hack traffic. They had nice baguette that year. Well, they had to get that bread some way. Unfortunately, Ubisoft decided to collect on that bread via microtransactions. Ad infinitum. Turn every game into Far Cry and then every game into Assassin's Creed. Then turn both of them into each other at the same time. I used to like so many damn Ubisoft games, and now I'm not interested in playing any of them right out of the gate. Also, suffice it to say, even if we did still have this level of interactivity from the tech demo, which they later admitted to this being completely faked, even if we still had that level of interactivity they were initially proposing, we still lost out on so much visual fidelity because, naturally, 2012. Let's look at some other popular game releases from 2012. I'm trying to look for something that goes for the photorealism route rather than cartoon stylization. I can't type. Oh, is that going to show the correct window? It is not. Okay. Fuck it, we'll show it. This is a fully rendered CG trailer, and it still doesn't look as good as the Watch Dogs 1 tech demo. It does, however, have latex-clad nuns with guns, so it does something right. Like, look at... Hang on. Look at Agent 47 in here, with the indoor lighting, the shadow deformation, just, like, the scattering of all these visual effects. This looks worse than the Watch Dogs 1 tech demo in the club, indoors. It was at night, sure. They had a bit of darkness to hide things, but this is a fully CG pre-rendered trailer. There is nothing in-game going on right now. This is all visual flair. And it looks worse than the Watch Dogs 1 tech demo. I think I'm being reasonable in saying I don't trust tech demos for a reason. I'm being reasonable for a reason. I can English. Fuck. Okay. Let me just hide that for a second while I bring up the next conference. Since when am I reasonable for a reason? Not never, basically. But I can English. I was doing it several minutes ago for at least one sentence. It's when I used all those big fake words that sound like I vaguely know what I'm talking about in a text size. But no. I've outgrown that small-mindedness. Can I bring that back now? Yes, okay. So we're now moving from the Witcher tech demo onto the PlayStation State of Play. This was from Thursday? Hang on. No, this was from Wednesday last week. Okay. Let's begin, shall we? Spoilers, the man who says fuck a lot might be showing you some mature content. Are you alluding to a walking simulator here, or am I supposed to be hyped? Donnerstag, never mind. Yeah, but those could be fake words. Or I could just be pretending I know how to assemble them in any reasonable way. I said size instead of side, and then I kept playing it off as if I had a plan for where that sentence was going. Instead, my mouth just refused to shut and stay closed. I don't know what this song is, but it feels like I'm gonna get copy-stricken on the VOD. Oh well. Seems to happen a lot. My mouth does not have a plan. I just drop my tongue out, and it goes where it damn well pleases. Then I thought that's what you enjoyed. You keep bonking. My brain ain't connected to even one body part. Absolutely. Lumines Arise, aka Musical Tetris for Stoners. Kudos. Oh, and it's a VR game. Fuck. I don't have a PSVR 2. That was the first trailer. They opened on that. Goddamn. Okay, never mind. No, look at the timer. We have 55 minutes of PlayStation stuff. We got ways to go. Eclectic soundtrack. I think you mean 420. It's puzzling why you opened on that. Do you just need something artsy to kick things off? Oh! These are the same guys that made Tetris Effect. That explains that.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of State of Play.
At least this time they got somebody that could pronounce play instead of pray. Because I'm praying for something more engaging. Nothing against Tetris Effect, but
It isn't just a dream. It's a promise.
I need something more.
One we're turning into reality. With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI, we're reshaping the line between dreams and reality.
Is this Split Fiction too? No? Perfect Dark, maybe?
Our future.
No. If Perfect Dark was going to be shown anywhere, it would be the Microsoft conference. This isn't clicking for me. What's Delphi?
Let's see about getting paths through to Earth. And why are these things trying to kill us?
Oh, this is the altars, isn't it?
There you are. All better.
Oh, Pragmata. I'm not gonna lie, I thought Pragmata was dead. Look, just give me the dad game vibes. Let me be a stoic, faceless asshole protecting a small child.
Hang on a second.
Don't you have a name or something?
Get behind me.
I think I can help.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Hella boring so far? No. This is Banjo-Kazooie for people that are never going to have kids but want them.
Bypassing person's
Let's be honest, I am a child. For legal reasons, that is a joke. No, you know what this is? Bioshock Infinite, but you know Elizabeth is your daughter from the beginning.
Hey, DI.
I said INT.
So a game for you then. Yep.
How about we call
This dude looks like Dead Space 2 Isaac Clarke when you see through the helmet. Maybe Dead Space 3, but I feel Dead Space 2. I go with my gut. We're very sorry. Next year. It's real. I'm glad I can believe you. Oh, hang on. Just have to refresh the overlay quickly. Let me know if there's any hiccups in the stream. It looks like things are stable now. You go from Pragmata to this looks like Saturn CD Link adventure. Harvey Two-Face origin story.
Seriously? Serious. Don't worry. I made this just in case. The dead gear life support system. Don't move, okay?
This feels like Suda 51. I mean that in a good way, too. I'm not sold on the opening visuals, but,
You're already half dead. From now on, you're half dead man.
whoever was in charge of editing these needs to be fired. What are these transitions? The transitions of people that expected you to just look up the trailers rather than actually watch the conference. Did it reset the resolution? It reset the resolution again. I apologize. Let's set this back to 4K. Ugh. Why did it reset the resolution? I'll give that a second to catch up. Everything working fine? Looks like everything's fine now. Okay. $4:20 a.m. Just in time for that chainsword to blaze it. A shame we didn't hit that time with the Lumines Arise. Yeah, that swing right there, that feels Lollipop Chainsaw. I'm gonna say this is probably Suda. Oh yeah, all these combined art directions simultaneously.
Romeo is a dead man. Coming 2026. Maybe.
Coming 2026, maybe. That is the most honest release window we've heard thus far. Okay, director Mizuno? It gave me Suda 51 vibes, honestly.
Huh? That was Grandpa's voice. Are you like a spirit? I'm on your back. What?
Okay, Suda might not be directing, but he is creating. The vibe matches. Okay.
グラスホッパーの役者の須田剛一です。いえいえ。皆さんトレーラーどうでした？グラスホッパーの久々の新作、ロギオイザ・デッドマンです。いよいよ
Where was Suda in those credits? I don't want to wind back just yet.
主人公のロミオが
It has the Suda vibes.
かっこいいでしょ。時空犯罪 FBI 捜査官として
I still need to play No More Heroes 3. I liked 1 and 2. 1 especially.
倒してそんなブラッディなアクションゲームとなっています。そして今回はですね、剣だけじゃありません。銃も使えます。ストロングスタイルのアクションゲームとして
Yeah, I played Shadows of the Damned. I've had you mixing and matching melee with ranged. I know how that goes.
タイトルがですね、ロミオなのにデッドマンなんで、それは皆さんぜひ続報をお待ちください。
And like all Suda 51 games, expect the question to not be answered unless it's a punchline.
それでは引き続き
And even then, you're only getting half the answer. Silent Hill F.
どこ行くの？こっちと
Hydrate? Alright.
今は誰かと喋りたくて。私も後から行くね。うん。じゃあね。裏切り者。
It turns out teen drama was the real monster all along. Just ignore all the kaijus and the, what do you call them? Kimono.
おばあちゃんまでいないなんて。こんなの絶対に変。俺もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうちにもってるし。
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. Also, the red tendril swarms are giving me Tom Cruise War of the Worlds vibes. This is a bucket. Dear God. There's more. No. Where are my TF2 fans at? We went from stripper fetish nurses to straight up schoolgirls in Silent Hill, for the record. In a good way. New hole, new goal. I meant the chest cavity, by the way, not the fans around the face. Same hole, different goal. Silent Hill F looks like a Silent Hill game, although I do think they are losing something by not having it set in America. Am I out of pocket for this? I feel like Silent Hill being set in North America is as endemic to the franchise's identity as, say, Fallout being set in North America. It doesn't have to be America specifically, but the proximity does seem pertinent. Like, I've seen Project, what do you call it? Fallout London. Don't get me wrong, I have the utmost respect for the modders. I don't think you can match the vibes while leaving the continent of all the previous games. Although I've heard that it's more Fallout than Fallout 4, which is the game it was originally modded off of, so what do I know? Silent Hill, going back to the Japanese studio's Japanese roots. And the pre-orders up to. Wait, hang on. I need to show the greatest sign of respect I can. Pragmata, it does have a Steam page. Okay, can I wishlist it? Good. Silent Hill F, I already have wishlisted. Romeo is a... Romeo's Dead Man does not have a Steam page yet. It's probably too early. No wishlisting option, so... Was there anything else I gave enough of a fuck about the wishlist yet? Lumines? No. Okay, we're caught up. Could have fooled me.
Has been sighted again.
Why do I know you?
The Church's orders are absolute. These human sacrifices must
Is this?
Track the ethereal castle, break its gates, and
I was about to say Final Fantasy. Bloodstained, maybe?
the demon lord himself will fall by our
It feels like,
This mission will test the limits of your courage.
it feels Castlevania, but I'm sticking with my Bloodstained guess.
Horrors beyond your darkest imaginings. Beasts that defy reason.
Much higher fidelity, so don't do what I did with the first Bloodstained and get it on Switch.
Your darkness.
Oh yeah, this has got Iga's fingerprints all over it. And I'm not just talking about the cleavage. I kind of wish the cutscenes were more stylized with the game's considerations. Oh, costume. Okay.
We start our mission.
I think the cutscenes going for this kind of tactile realism versus the like Bloodstained Scarlet Engagement. Can I call him or can I call him? Yeah, I do think the fidelity in the cutscenes is trying to chase photorealism, even though like the line art and the characters themselves are clearly stylized. It makes me think more so that the art direction in Bloodstained 1 was being hidden under its level of fidelity. And they needed the kind of stylistic flair to hide. I'm speculating. But yeah. Let me pull this up on Steam. Bloodstained, Scarlet Engagement. The page is up. I like the first Bloodstained, even if I didn't like the version I got. Getting Bloodstained on the Switch 1 was tantamount to getting Bayonetta 1 on the PS3. Actually, no, that's too harsh on Bloodstained, honestly. So. Let's see what else you got.
So you've come, trolls of the church, right into the palm of my hand.
The visuals of Shinjuku that I'm seeing are a hellscape I can't quite put into words.
Ooh, Digimon! This is one thing that I did have leaked to me ahead of time. I saw a collector's edition for a Digimon story game. I know nothing about the game itself, just I know there's a collector's edition.
Counting on you, Agent. Our ultimate mission is to uncover the causality between these anomalies.
It's probably a phase electron light. Is that what you call us, Digimon? I'll always be right here with you.
Who exactly are you working for? I remember you guys.
Who or what is that? For real?
I still associate Digimon with my childhood too much.
Are you working for? I remember you guys.
Selfie sticks in Digimon, I feel like I've kind of crossed the event horizon where it's like, yeah, the version of Digimon I'm aware of, that I'm most familiar with, was for a very different generation. Like, let me tell you how I know Digimon from my generation is not the same as Digimon for this generation. Digivolving figures. The idea that you would not have just a single solid collectible figurine, but that it had to have actions, that it did something. Congrats, I'm old. I'm not trying to fight that battle. It's already lost. But yeah, we didn't have collectibles that you just looked at for Digimon back in the day. We had action figures. They had to transform, so you were getting 2 figures for the price of 1. That's how you had to sell it to your parents, because you couldn't afford them yourself because you were a broke-ass child. It's like, well, this one toy is basically 2 toys. Mashallah. Or if you got the Omnimon Digivolving figure, that could be 3, basically. I think it could go into Wargreymon, Metalgreymon, and Omnimon. Or if you prefer the non-English version, Omegamon. Which, considering the counterpart to Omnimon is Alphamon, and that one did stay 1-to-1 in the translation, it does kind of feel like the Alpha, the Omega, that being split, and they just dropped half of because of the English localization. It does feel a bit awkward, not gonna lie. But anyway, back to the selfie stick.
Or what is that? You really don't know anything about the digital world?
We have been enemies for years now, but this is the first time the Titans have launched an attack on this scale.
We now believe most of the anomalies we've been dealing with stem from Digimon.
It seems the upcoming battle is truly unavoidable.
The world on this end is running out of time.
If the gate is opened with the digital world in such a state, the human world will most certainly be affected.
Do the Titans not care about the end of the digital world?
Stop it! That egg is very important!
Excuse me.
The World Tree has been attacked. This just is a great one. Glutamon said.
It can't protect any. We must protect the world from them. For this purpose and this purpose alone were you born.
That thing opens, they will be swarmed by Digimon. Attack!
Please, everyone, lend me your strength.
Thank you.
To move forward into the future.
We must fulfill our mission. Agent.
Well, I'll give it this. I'm okay. I will give it this. Oh, bumped the microphone. My apologies. If they go more for the RPG route than the visual novel route, I might give this one a shot. But the last Digimon game I was seeing any press about was basically more light novel than actual game. Never mind specifically the JRPG elements that I like from classic Digimon. Like, I still have Digimon World 3 set up and ready to emulate right now on this PC. And Digimon World 3 was a grind fest, but it still did so much right that I was okay with it. Even though because it's the American version, I'm missing content. I think I would have to get the PAL version, the European release. I can't remember the year. It was on PS1. I want to say probably 1997, 99. Hang on. No, 2002. I'm an idiot. I don't memorize PAL release dates. But I was within the correct window for the PlayStation 1, considering that was in 1994. Okay, I'm not completely wrong. I'm just wrong about the PAL release of a specific Digimon game. It's still going to haunt me. If you want the full version of the game in English, you would have to get the PAL version, not the US release, or North America in general. Squeenix, what are you bringing? Don't tell me it's Kingdom Hearts 4. Hang on. Is this the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake? I don't know Dragon Quest that well.
If you feel wrong, blame yourself or the father.
Why did you fight?
No, that was a Chocobo. This is
Subterfuge and conflict.
Final Fantasy Tactics?
Must rule the weak. It is our duty.
I'll be honest with you, never played it. All my Final Fantasy playing friends are still pissed at me for not finishing 7 yet. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics, okay. I haven't played it yet, but I do have at least a little bit of knowledge. Classic and Enhanced, you can toggle between them. Good, like the Master Chief Collection. Okay. And it's coming out in just under 4 months.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson.
And I'm Sid Schumann, here to deliver news and release dates for games coming to PS5 later this year.
You mean games can release in the same year as the
Hope you
trailers?
enjoyed that first
Madness.
look at Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles. The game will include 2 versions of the original PlayStation Classic. The enhanced version, which features much more, as well as the classic version, which brings a faithful recreation of the 19.
It sounds like they brought on the Flesh people just to reiterate what we could have already read. Did they imagine Final Fantasy players don't know how to read? Probably scarily realistic.
September 30th, and will be available for pre-order later today.
This next game is something really special. When I first played it, I laughed so hard I almost barfed. Let's check it out.
I can vomit on my own, thank you. Clean my nose, bitch. Oh, this is baby steps. Yeah, okay, I can mute myself for this. Yeah.
How badly? Just normal. Bad. Hey, just go behind this bush. I'll wait. I can run away. Pea shy. No. Yeah, no, you don't want me watching. You can watch.
In baby steps, all you have to do is carefully place one foot in front of the other, which is easier said than done. Main character Nate requires some pretty deliberate movement to make even the simplest progress. It's a captivating...
Because we really needed a 3D quap with a guy in a gray onesie.
You found it even without a map. The best toilet on the mountain. Oh, good.
Definitely check this one out.
Mashallah voice acting. I don't want to play this. I don't care. Ooh.
Hirogami is a unique action-adventure title from Bandai Namco Studios.
Why do I think I've already heard this name? Hang on. This is where I heard it before. It got a free demo. It was just announced at the Future Game Show. I clearly don't know what's good. I know what's not good is probably... Oh, hang on. We're talking about this game. Never mind. This has potential.
Distinct abilities, including a paper airplane, a nimble frog, a hardy armadillo.
Look, 1,000 Year Door is already one of my favorite games. You don't have to sell me on the paper elements.
Master the art of folding when Hirogami arrives on PS5 later this summer. Sid, why don't you tee this next one up?
Thanks, Sean. The Hotshot series has been with PlayStation from the very beginning. In its latest installment,
I don't care about golf.
boasts its largest character roster ever. Compete in courses from 10 different regions around the world, each with weather effects and new nighttime variants. Pre-orders begin later today.
Congratulations, you have a day-night cycle and weather.
Man is an early unlockable character.
The sad thing is, this probably has more of the shit I want from the weather in Witcher 4 tech demo than the Witcher 4 is ever going to have. This one I know I already have wishlisted. It was announced last year, I want to say, or maybe it was earlier this year.
From the makers of the Blasphemous series, Ragebound stars dual protagonists from rival clans, forced to combine their souls and skills against a demon uprising. And longtime fans will really love the pulse-pounding soundtrack, featuring guest composers from the original series. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound arrives July 31st on PS5 and...
Less than 2 months away. Oh my god, how dare I? Golf is love, golf is life. Golf is geometry for people who like grass. Go touch it by yourself. Leave the balls alone.
From the game bakers, Cairn is a survival climbing experience where you must carefully plan your ascent up a deadly mountain.
Is this not already out?
Manage balance and stamina to discover secrets.
Hey! Hey, wait for me!
Encounter other climbers.
I'm Marco. Nice to meet you.
And survive the harsh conditions of the climb.
Apparently not. It comes out in November this year. I thought it was already out. No, but balls. You can find tiny white balls attached to something infinitely more tolerable than a full day of wandering around 18 holes. Who needs to fill that many holes, honestly?
That's all from us, but there's still a lot of state of play to come.
This next reveal comes from the game preservationist at Eclipse. Nothing can prepare you for their next collection, arriving later this year.
Over half hour remaining. They are not kidding about how much is left to come.
It was fun to play. People were excited about it.
The most rewarding part of it is just seeing people react to it.
Wait, is Capcom devs, or are we talking the collection devs?
It was such a shock to see this.
Ooh, it's gonna be a collection spelled with a K.
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat. Brutality.
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
Stop reminding us how you led to us needing the goddamn ESRB.
There was no template to make the game.
Okay, showing off those different versions, like GBC, GB1 versions, now you're talking my language.
That game is an expression of who we were and what we wanted to do.
It's not Mortal Kombat 9, but I could go with some classics from 1 through 3. I guess they actually showed 1 through 5, basically. It's another controller. Fight stick? Zoom out. Arcade stick, okay. I'm sorry, what? Did you not have enough of a say in goddamn Street Fighter 5 and... Or, actually, they don't want to talk about their involvement with Street Fighter 5, so, yeah, they want to pretend that was not a fight stick they corroborated on. Sure, you can pretend this is the first one. Okay, I'll give it to you. And naturally, while they're ignoring the other fight sticks they've worked on, it's Defiant. Is this the MGS2 or 3 remake? Snake Eater? Yeah, it's Delta Snake Eater. Okay.
Loading like this, it's a revolution. All right, Commander. Baby. Take this. Here comes another one. You won't get away from me. Time for you to taste some real pain. What's the matter? I'm over here. Go back to your own world.
This is such a glow up from the original. Like, also, this section, if you've been doing a no-kill run, this section's free. It takes you time to slog through it, but, I do love how they actually gave you a section of the game, which, the more you kill, the more enemies you have to deal with in this specific boss fight. Like, do we give Undertale all the credit? Yes. But I think we could go a little extra credit and then scrape that over to MGS3. Also, you're not so much merciful in MGS3 as you are chokeholds, garrote cables, you know the drill. Ape Escape. Oh. I could do with some Ape Escape Easter eggs, sure. Kermit? I'm not even gonna bullshit you. That's just kind of impressive. Yeah, all those spontaneous angles impacted by the shadows on the rock textures there. That is not bad. That's not bad at all.
Spirit stones. Shining stones imbued with humankind's never-ending dreams.
Dynasty Warriors?
Since time immemorial.
Samurai Warriors.
This power has been the impetus for human wars.
Oh, I think I've seen something for this. Hang on.
Such an ominous atmosphere, and one thick with the presence of Aratama.
What makes a shogun? Here is my answer.
I got nothing to say right now. I'm just immersed. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
How foolish of you to have entered the depths of hell.
Is this what Onimusha's become? No, it's Neo. Well. I'd never played Neo 2. I liked the first game. Clearly I need to get back into it, because this is showing ever more promise.
Who might you be, warrior? Tokugawa. Takechio.
Yeah, I gotta go back to more Neo.
戦国シュニゲーシリーズの最新作「ニオ3」をついに発表させていただきました。今作のアクションはシリーズおなじみのサムライスタイルに加え、新たに忍者スタイルを追加、より多彩な戦闘を楽しめます。ステージもオープンフィールドとなり、
They're going to Ghost of Tsushima route, huh?
大幅にアップしています。本日よりプレイステーション5で体験版も配信いたします。
Oh, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. I'm not jumping ship. I'm still going to watch more of this, but if there's a trailer available, I want to at least flag it for download later. It's an alpha demo. It's probably going to be very limited time. I need to do this sometime soon. Add to library. I'll figure out more later. Okay.
ぜひプレイしてご意見をいただければと思います。2026年の発売に向け、続報にもぜひご期待ください。
And it's next year as well. I guess we're already past all the 2025 hopes and dreams. But I'll take a demo. Absolutely. Oh, damn it. I know what this is. Thief is getting a VR game. I don't know if I trust it. Never mind the fact that it's no longer the original protagonist. Thief 4 didn't have the original protagonist. In name, sure, but in practice, no. Just give Thief the Dark Project the goddamn Delta Snake Eater treatment. That's all we need. Thief fans are very simple. If you don't give them what they want, they're going to go to Hitman instead. And Hitman is an emphasis on killing, versus Thief, the emphasis is on stealth without lethal ends. This should be free. It should be. The logo is slightly better than Thief 4, or as I like to call it, Theforif. But yeah, that's not from me. It feels like Firewatch crossed with the Raft. No, the humans are too detailed for Firewatch, never mind.
Ever since the Great Flood, Elend, my dear planet, has been dying. Plastemia has taken everything from us. But you Tidewalkers are all connected. Hey, you stop right there! And it's up to you now to use that power.
Damn, Raft right now would hit different. What would hit different is if this wasn't just the blood ecosystem from goddamn Soulsborne games, except they're NPCs and not just allusions to other players online. You know the unfortunate thing it's reminding me of right now? Brink. I liked Brink when it worked. Back in, I'm going to say 2011, 2012. But if you played Brink at launch, that game was a performance disaster. I'm talking, I was a slideshow. Not even able to predict where I was going. I just had to, every time something changed on screen, hope that I was hitting my goddamn equipment toggles in the direction of my allies instead of my enemies, to make sure I was giving them supports. And the visual direction, that's what's pulling me most towards Brink. The platforming put it in my head for a moment, because platforming in FPS was being something of an innovation in the period. Now Titanfall has done it infinitely better, and Apex has supposedly continued said perfection. I don't play Apex, though. I prefer single-player Titanfall. Brink, however, was trying to innovate on that front, and now the unique art direction, big-ass air quotes, seems to be getting revivified here. The exaggerated proportions, the shading, yeah. It's higher fidelity than Brink, but that's the vibe I'm getting. If Brink was set in Sea of Thieves, does that explain myself clearly enough? Tides of Tomorrow, not my cup of tea. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Duce, the game director of Astrobot. It's a pleasure
Ooh.
to be back today to share more news with you. What the last few months it has been.
Did you add new challenge mode or something? What do you got?
Astrobot launched last September to such encouraging feedback, even receiving a few honors we are truly grateful for. In October, we added 5 speedrun levels, followed by a Christmas special packed with festive surprises. And then earlier this year, the Vicious Void Galaxy made its appearance, adding yet more new challenging levels, all of which came at no additional cost. And today,
I can't remember if those were free DLC or if they were just included in an update.
you will be able to enjoy 5 brand new challenge levels in Astrobot, bringing the total to a whopping 90 planets.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
There too, including Atsu.
Oh, this is Ghost of Yotei, not Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Fans' favorites, but these ones
I can't believe they're doing a Ghost of Yotei Easter egg before the game is even out.
Astrobot DualSense wireless controller will return.
I don't need another controller, thank you.
So be on the lookout for more news coming soon. From all of us at Team Asobi, thank you all for the amazing reception.
Maybe if you made it so the eyes change shape while you're using the touchpad, maybe, because that would be weird and interesting. Getting some, what do you call it? What's the League of Legends anime vibes? It feels Riot in the visual direction. But the controller is so cute. I don't need another PlayStation controller right now. If I did, I would want one of those, what do you call it, the PlayStation Edge controllers. And the price is what's edging me right now, because those things are like 150, 200 bucks. Arcane, that's the show. I don't know League of Legends that well. Or Arcane, don't know how to spell. You would know better than me. I don't know League of Legends. I played like an hour of the base game, got accused of being a bot, and I've only gone back since to try out their Vampire Survivors knockoff mode. That's it. This literal blockhead side, though, the carved wood textures, interesting. Are they trying to go with a more marionette element to this, or just general puppets? Do you look like you know... Oh, lol now? You're not a LOL player. You know more than me already. See Remnants. Is there a Steam page for this right now? Do they have any more information? Sea of Remnants. Okay. It is 2026 with no specific details. Some screenshots. I think these were all in the trailer, though. Plus the trailer itself. You're just chronically online. Same difference. They're recommending a GTX 1060 for this, so I feel like the art direction might be freeing up a bit of performance for them, which is good. A visually rich ocean adventure RPG as puppet folk sailor seeking lost memories. I was correct with the puppet direction, okay? As puppet folk sailor seeking lost memories, you'll brave dynamic seas, battle strange monsters, build your fleet, bond with 300 plus companions, and shape the evolving city of Orbtopia. "300 companions, you say?" Oh, hang on. Are we crashing on the Twitch side of things? Let's see. Because it looks like we got disconnected on Twitch. Just make sure we have something back on that feed. You think my stream is crashing? I think we're back now, live. Oh, hang on. Are we back? Can you see us again? It looks like we're back. That was a quick hello. Okay, yeah. I'm keeping an eye on things. I told you, I managed to keep things working through brute force. I have to pay non-stop attention to everything all at once, all of the time. But yeah, if you missed it, I was reading off a description from the Steam page. Puppet folk sailor seeking lost memory, 300 plus companions. Is this a creature collector? Is this goddamn Pokemon? 300 plus puppet pirates. That is quite the ensemble. It doesn't seem like my kind of game. Or what's the dev? Joker Studio? Have they done anything else? No. First game? And it's published by NetEase, so that tells me nothing. Okay, it has potential. I don't hate it. It does not seem like my vibe, but it has potential, so... I'm not wishlisting it, but it does have my intrigue. Please say a new Journey game from, that game coming up. Yes. It doesn't have to be Journey 2. It does not need to be Journey 2. Just the same studio, I automatically trust it. Journey 1, or just Journey, one of my favorite games of all time. Abzu I didn't terribly care for much. I love the visual style of these games, especially the sand surfing. I do think that adding the sword with the hover element there takes something away from it compared to the sand surfing of Journey, but I trust this by default. You know what? Where is my window? Sword of the Sea. I already have it wishlisted. I have no memory of when this was originally announced. But it's coming out in just over 2 months. August 19th. So. Wait a minute. I haven't played The Pathless. I know I have a copy of it. I got it dirt cheap. It was like $10, and it even came with the pack-in postcards. I have The Pathless, and I never played it. I need to fix that. But yeah, this studio, these styles, these games, I trust. Even when I don't like Abzu necessarily, it's just I don't like it as much as Journey. It was still fun.
That was a new look at Sword of the Sea, a visually striking adventure from the team behind Abzu and Pathless. We're excited to announce that Sword of the Sea will launch this summer into the PlayStation Plus game catalog. On June 17th, Remedy brings otherworldly action to game catalog with PC Firebreak. In this cooperative FPS set in the paranatural...
Yeah, as far as Firebreak is concerned, I've heard that the firefighting elements to it are minimal, and that you're basically just, like, firefighter style. Or I could be mistaking that with another firefighting game that tried coming out at the same time. Who would have thought 2 games trying to have the same unique idea at the same time, and neither one's terribly original? I can't tell them apart.
You and 2 fellow agents must confront and contain the reality-warping chaos found within the oldest house.
Yeah, this is different than the firefighting game I was thinking of, but it's still not tempting me.
Day 1 in the game catalog on June 17th.
The catalog can keep it. I'm not upgrading my subscription for that.
The PlayStation Plus Classics catalog welcomes several new titles this summer. The PS2 version of Legendary Immersive...
Oh! That's a good one. Personally, I prefer the PC version, but the PS2 version, not bad.
Sim Deus Ex arrives June 17th.
Which, fun thing, unless I'm misremembering, PlayStation has Deus Ex 1, 3, 4, and I think they have Spin-Off The Fall? I think. They don't have Deus Ex 2. Which is actually a good thing, because if I stayed playing Deus Ex exclusively on PlayStation, that means I could have skipped the worst one.
In July, Twisted Metal 3 and Twisted Metal 4 join the service.
I'm not good at Twisted Metal games. I like the style, I'm not good at the actual gameplay, though.
July 31st in select countries, including Peacock in the US. Additionally, 2 of Capcom's most beloved games from the original PlayStation are set to join the Classics lineup. Resident Evil 2...
Oh. Now, with the remakes, I prefer Resident Evil 2. In the originals, I'd say I prefer Resident Evil 3. I haven't tried Remake 4 yet, though. Is Remake 4 good? I know they got rid of the ballistic missiles line, but still. Oh, and they made Leon less dumb. Let me keep my goddamn himbo assassin. They got rid of the line where he's like, I will send my right hand after you. Insert Leon. Your hand comes off? No, he's talking about his right-hand man, his closest confidant. You dumb fuck, you're lucky you're cute. Ah. No wonder Chris wants him to breed with his sister. Skill issue? In Resident Evil, IQ is an active debuff to your cool factor. Do you think Chris Redfield got to boulder punching status by being smart? No.
2 and Resident Evil 3 will arrive later this summer in the Classics catalog. Additionally, Myst and Riven will arrive later this month as part of the Days of Play celebration.
I don't think those need to be on PlayStation, but sure, why not?
Days of Play is a 2-week event that includes bonus PlayStation Plus content drops, great deals on software and hardware, and more.
Yeah, I checked out the sales. Nothing terribly tempting, unless you want a PSVR 2 for some reason. At which point, even discounted as heavily as it is, it's still $350 for just the VR stuff. Doesn't come with a console.
He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding
What?
school in Britain.
I was about to fast forward through this. I saw Amazon Studios, but this is a James Bond game?
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them.
Hey, Nico! Thank you for hanging out. And yes, I did make it to affiliate. I appreciate your enthusiasm. And thank you for being part of it, too. I wouldn't be here without everybody giving me eyeballs. I don't know what I did to deserve them, or what you did to deserve the punishment of me yapping at you, but here we are. Show me Connery. Show me Connery. Who is this mid-20s asshole? Give me a Sean Connery Bond. Give me, basically anybody from the last century. Like 1900s Bond. Who are you?
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond.
Don't steal his line, lady.
It's with me.
And you are?
When is this?
Don't think we've had the pleasure.
No, let's not get
Did they sliding time scale? They must have put a sliding time scale on him. You've never been more excited to get hit with an ad? How dare I? Or how am I? Sorry. I thought you were how daring me for the ads. I'm still in one piece. I'm not 100%, but I'm doing the damnedest I can. How are you doing? Look. I'm not saying James Bond has to be a depressed 50-year-old alcoholic, but this guy feels too young. Like, this is the opposite of the Spike Spiegel situation with the live-action Cowboy Bebop from Netflix. They chose an actor that was too old for Spike Spiegel, even though Spike is supposed to be world-worn and weary in spite of his youth. James Bond is supposed to be an exuberant playboy in spite of his age. It's like an adolescent power fantasy. This guy just looks adolescent.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the endgame is, we won't see it coming.
Wait. This is Uncharted. If I'm being optimistic, Uncharted 2. Realistically, it feels more like Uncharted 4. Low key, mid key, high key haven't been well, but you're well now. Something. Grieving's a bitch. Healing isn't linear. I'm so sorry for that loss. I'm sorry. But you seem like you're in high spirits. At the very least, you found your caps lock button. This is Uncharted 4. This is not James Bond. That is Nathan Drake. Hang on. That is Nathan Drake with Botox. That is Nathan Drake inspired by the movie Uncharted, inspired by the game Uncharted. This is like circling back in on itself to degrading quality recursions. That ain't Nathan Drake. I'm saying this game is Uncharted. That ain't Nathan Drake. I feel like this is an Uncharted skin suit, not James Bond. All I want is GoldenEye 007-2. It was hilarious for real. I don't know if it's that funny, because I wanted an actual James Bond game. Like, this is very upfront, explosive assault, not really spy stuff. I feel like you should have the option to do full stealth as James Bond. The Man of Mystery, the Spy Especial. I'm probably going to mix up various other pseudonyms courtesy of Austin Powers. I would rather have an Austin Powers game than Uncharted 5. Does that tell ya?
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
Like, I enjoy the rip-roaring action sides of James Bond as well. I've probably seen more James Bond movies than I can remember, but for a game, I'm sticking with my Uncharted guesstimate.
Ellie, what do you do, James? Lately, headhunting.
Oh, oops. No worries. Anyways, let's get back to James Bond. This is why James Bond Jr. was trending. Oh! I get it now. Did we really need a James Bond origin story? Do we need an Uncharted flavored James Bond origin story? Really? People know who James Bond is. At least as long as you've watched more than the Daniel Craig movies. Is that muted? Hang on. Sorry about that.
I suppose this is another teachable moment.
Yeah, no, not for me. Sorry. You want me to get an account for the Golden Gun? If you want me to sign up for an account for the Golden Gun, it better be Duke Nukem's Golden M1911. You want your depressed, alcoholic, middle-aged playboy, and you want it now? Daniel Craig's not really my flavor, but by all means, shake him, stir him, be you.
CEO of Iron Tractive. The team is thrilled to announce 007 First Flight. You'll experience James Bond as a young air crewman in the Royal Navy. Before the tuxedo and the martinis, as he first steps into the world of...
Why are you giving me a James Bond before the tuxedos and martinis? That's what I want a James Bond game for.
Espionage, striving to earn his 00 status. Everyone at Iron Tractive has poured their passion and dedication into crafting an experience that honors the legacy of Bond, harnessing our 25...
By how? Turning him into a slightly taller version of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies? No, actually, no. Mission Impossible? No. Tom Cruise Jack Reacher.
Years of agent expertise. This is just the beginning of our journey with 007, and we can't wait to share more with you soon.
You'll have to share some hell of an incentive to get me in there. Ghost of Yote? It's coming this year, I think. I saw Halloween 2025 at some point. Purity seals will not save you from Sucker Punch optimization. I'm talking shit. Sucker Punch has gotten better at optimization since Ghost of Tsushima. They've gotten better since, I want to say, Infamous Second Son. Just the personality hasn't been as strong since they stopped doing stuff like, oh, what am I thinking of? I'm not going to remember in a timely fashion. I'll focus on this trailer. You bitch! It's a trailer for a trailer? Cock tease. Something Avengers, alright. Oh. This looks like a great Guilty Gear skin. Is this 2 tag or 3 tag? Hang on. Three tag minimum, okay. I'm sorry, I lost count of who was coming in on what side. That's 6 characters total, right? Wait. Wait, I can count. That's 4 characters coming from the left. Is this just trailer bullshit, or are they doing something bigger than, like, 3v3? That was a very Broly feeling grab, by the way. And Storm. Unless they got goddamn cameos like MK1, this is more than 3v3. Oh my shit. Max was right. Maximilian Dude was right. At some point, somebody was going to do a 4v4. I did not see it was going to come from Marvel, though. Wait. Have I only seen Marvel characters? Are any of these Capcom characters? If you tell me this is Marvel versus Capcom, I am going to lose my ever-loving mind. I only see Marvel. Next year. That's quite the refrain we're getting. Everything's coming next year. Nothing's coming this year. Except for more trailers. That's not me pausing, by the way. I was about to say, goddamn, what's the game called? I'm blanking on the name of the game right now. Why am I blanking on the name of the game? It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's right on the tip of my deck. Where is it? Ghostwire. Ghostwire Tokyo. For a hot second, I thought that was still in-game CGI. It's not Ghostwire Tokyo. This is gonna be, like, actual flesh people. Disgusting.
や本当に聞いた時はびっくりしましたね。で、まあ世界的に本当に有名な
It's not a Capcom Marvel game. It's not MVC. It's... Oh. Continue.
思いつつもまず本当にうちの会社で大丈夫かなっていう不安もあり。
After everything with Guilty Gear Strive, I still trust you. Dungeon No Fighter Duel, that kind of messed me up a little, but I still believe in you after Guilty Gear. And Fighters, especially. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Or, it is literally just Fighters, but the Z is silent.
Wanting to say, why isn't PlayStation in this space? So PlayStation approached us with this vision to bring Marvel back to the forefront of the tag fighting genre. And that got us really excited because we...
As opposed to putting Marvel on the forefront of the live service genre with Marvel's The Avengers.
When it came to approaching Marvel, we have to kind of first float the idea and let them know, hey, you know, we're thinking about approaching a company like Arc System Works to make a fighting game. We'd love to partner with you to do this really great collaboration. Would you be interested? When they named the developer, that really perked up our ears. It's always refreshing to work with a team that will take on the challenge of tackling Marvel, putting their own spin on it, and they're just uppercutting that challenge into the stratosphere. And that's what you get with this team. I mean, they couldn't make something boring if they tried.
Another? It's Marvel, baby. Absolutely. I'm not good at tag fighters, but I do like them.
The tricky thing is that most fans, including myself, see this as a sacred genre for Marvel. The tough part is finding a partner that's crazy enough to take on the task.
Annoying.
You either do something like this big and bold, or you don't do it at all.
There are some games I think Marvel gets a free pass in, deservedly. I'm gonna say it's in fighting games. There's a lot of games they don't get a free pass in, though. It's overrated nowadays. Does this look like the MCU to you? No, this has nothing to do with the modern movies. This seems like it is just a classic fighting game. And by classic, I mean traditional, outside of the 4v4 stuff.
一番最初にマーベルさんに提出した時はなんとなくマイケルさんの反応はあんまり芳しくなかった印象があって、まあ何がまずいのかなっていろいろこうやっぱり直接話していくうちにもっとアークのやりたいマーベルを見せてくれというような話をいただいたことがあって。
I remember personally the first time I saw Iron Man was really when I felt we had something special.
That is a Gundam, sir. That is a Gundam. At minimum, that is Kamen Rider. But that is a Gundam. That is not an Iron Man suit. Say less.
今回のアイアンマンのデザインを皆さんご覧いただければわかると思うんですけども、かなりこう日本らしいアークシステムワークスらしいデザインっていうのが、出ているかなと思うので、マーベルの皆さんの反応がすごく良くて、あ、これなんだみたいな。
I say bullshit to these guys playing on a traditional gamepad, by the way. These guys are arcade stick people. They just have to show the controller because it's PlayStation. It would be a shame if PlayStation didn't have a fighting stick in development like, say, Project Defiant. Oh, wait, they could have showed it with that. But no.
Iron Man is supposed to be the sleek fighter jet, think luxury race car, mixed with a brick house. And the fact that they added anime mech elements to him just felt really naturally at home. One of the mantras that we have for this project is from Japan to the world, and really trying to take not just the IP, but gameplay mechanics.
Hey, if we get Japanese Spider-Man back, can he have a gun again? Asking for a friend. Japanese Spider-Man was a trip.
And really trying to take not just the IP, but gameplay mechanics and say, what can we really take from Japan, the creators that are doing awesome work here, and bring that to the global platform.
まあ特別なところいっぱいあるんですけど、まあ本当にやっぱり強調すべきは、まあ格闘ゲームのチームバトルの中では4対4というのがまず本当に意欲的で。
What friend? I don't have any. Some words hurt on the inside.
When Ark looks at these Marvel characters, it's not simply just the visuals, it's also the gameplay mechanics and adding in that, what is that pop? What is going to be something that's different? Up until now.
This does not look like a Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. This is... I've already forgotten the name. It's not Johnny Blaze, though.
You've seen TIE Fighter.
Wait. Brain? My brain is trying to remember the character name. Hang on. No, this is the wrong thing. No. That's a predecessor, not a successor. Nope. None of these are helping. That is a group. I need Ghost Rider. A single Ghost Rider. A Ghost Rider running a molten woolly mammoth. I didn't know I needed that today. Reyes! This is the one I was looking for. That is Reyes Ghost Rider. Honestly, I've not read any of Reyes' Ghost Rider. I've just seen him cropping up in more TV shows, so maybe this will be a chance for me to learn. And then immediately forget.
Up until now, we've seen TIE Fighters that have 2v2, 3v3. We felt like we just had to go 4v4. And in doing so, we found a lot of...
The roster better be goddamn stacked for a 4x4.
That I think players are going to be very excited to see.
I don't know if that's the primary format or the only format, if it's only 4v4.
Learning 4 characters is extremely daunting, but the team at Arc System Works has found a way to design a system that adapts to your playstyle. So you can either duke it out as just the leader and 3 assists, or you can tag in your assists to swap the leader and change the matchup on the fly.
I don't think a lot of people thought...
So this could be Mortal Kombat 1 with 3 cameos. That sounds chaotic as all get out.
I'll tell you right now, a lot of fighting games, they never get to experience this level of production, and it's just a dream to even be working with these 2 great partners.
それは決してビジネスという枠組みではなくて、それぞれの強い思いの中でこのタイトルを成功させよう、いいゲームにしてファンに届けようと。
The 3 companies have come together to do this, and I think we really are going to make something magical here.
このタイトルですね、まだまだ開発途中ではありますが、続々とキャラクターも発表していきたいと思いますし、キャラクター以外のコンテンツというところも今後いろいろ出ていくと思います。今しばらく楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思います。Stay tuned.
Marvel Tokon Fighters. Fighting Souls, sorry.
You're still with me?
That has a lot of potential. Was that the last one? That was a strong note to close on. I'll give him that, but is that it? You gotta go now? Godspeed to you, man. I'll catch you soon, then. Hope you have a good night, and thanks for hanging out. It's always good to have you hanging out in chat. Of everything they are showing right now, let's see. Ghost of Yote, they have a trailer for a trailer that's coming out at another state of something, so we got nothing on that. Pragmata has shown more potential than I ever expected. I figured that project was going to be abandoned. James Bond First Light, I do not care. Silent Hill F, I am curious, but I will still say I care. I just don't think it's the right decision to take Silent Hill out of North America. Lumines Arise, not for me, don't care. Neo 3, I'm very curious. I gotta go back to play Neo 2 again, so we'll see. Romeo is Dead Man, absolutely has my curiosity. It's Suda, I have to give it a shot. Sea of Remnants, not for me. If you like the arcane art direction, be my guest, not for me. And Final Fantasy Tactics, I know at least 2 Final Fantasy opinions I'm going to have to deal with shortly. Because my friends will never shut up about this, ever. As soon as it's playable, I'm going to lose them both. They will not see sunlight again until 2026. MGS3 Delta Snake Eater... It could just be the magnitude of the glow-up, but I do see that as having tremendous potential. I gotta have more out of it, though. We'll see. Sword of the Sea, it's from the Journey devs. I trust them implicitly. Absolutely, give me more. Tides of Tomorrow, not for me. Bloodstained, I called that on nothing and still got it right. I don't know how. Thief VR, I wish we just got a more traditional Thief. Goddamn, did it crash again? Hang on. I think we're back now. My apologies if you're hanging in chat. I gotta make sure we're good. We're good, okay. Again, Thief VR. I just want a more traditional Thief. Digimon Story Time Stranger. I need to make sure that's an actual RPG and not a visual novel. Mortal Kombat Collection. Depends on the price point, but MK 1, 2, 3, 4 minimum and multiple versions of each, that could be a strong performer. And that's it. I will give it to them. Stop playing. I thought Pragmata was dead even before they figured out what the hell the game was going to be. But yeah, going the traditional dad game route of just making it this seemingly helpless child that actually has magical powers that can apply buffs and debuffs on your behalf. I don't make the Banjo and Kazooie comparison lightly. It's not the same utility as Kazooie, but at the same point, I don't care. This looks fun. It might be shallow as all hell, but I want to try it. Lumines Arise, it's Tetris Effect with even more stoner vibes. Now, this opening sequence from Romeo is a Dead Man, I'm not crazy about this art direction. I already made the, what was it? The Link or Legend of Zelda PC CD games? I can't remember already. Fuck. This section is not my vibe, but once you're out of this and you're officially a Dead Man, yeah, I get the vibe. It's a Suda game. Silent Hill, Bloodstained, Digimon Story, FF Tactics, Hirogami. Did I put this on a list yet? Hang on. I like Paper Mario. I like the paper aesthetic. I like this for Kubo and the 2-string as well. It is a very good aesthetic, and I want to see more of the gameplay, so hopefully we get more of this soon. Golf. I don't care about this sport. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It's not original to this showcase. They've shown it before, but I'll take more of it. Absolutely. Cairn, I thought this was already out, and I was still ignoring it, so I don't care.
You can give it a try yourself with a demo that arrives later today.
Project Defiant, aka the fight stick for people that forgot Sony had such a big hand in a couple of the recent Street Fighters. It's our first fighting stick, everybody. Neo 3 could be interesting. Thief VR. I can't wait to try more Astrobot. I need to play this game on stream. I need to just do the whole thing. It's a good, quick, and dirty.
Wireless controller will return later this year with a slight twist. So be on the lookout for more news coming soon. From all over
The James Bond, Uncharted, Marvel fighting. Yep, that's everything we got from PlayStation. So that state of play was none too shabby. I don't know if it's going to be the second coming of anything, but it had potential. I didn't hate it. The only thing I hated actively about this one was Ghost of Yote being a cock tease. Like, the game's supposed to be coming out this year. Instead of having anything for the state of play, you're waiting for a future showcase? Really? Well, guess what I'm going to do to Blue Ball you? You thought I was going to hit end stream there, didn't you? No, that would have been clever. Okay, so I'm thinking we might actually break this up into another stream, make this day 0 as the recording goes, and then we do the Summer Games Fest day 1 as the next part of this. So we can knock out those. We did finish the tech demo section. And I've got to look up which other conferences we need to cover as well, so it's getting to about midnight in my neck of the woods. Hopefully you're all having a good, restful night as well. I say as if we're not going to stay up obsessively watching game conferences or staring out the window longingly wondering when the Switch 2 is going to come home. It's not going to come home. It got scalped by the post office. It's already on its way to some, I don't know, Saudi prince with more money than sense. Where are the Switch 2 games? You have Mario Kart World Tour. Where are the other Switch 2 games? They're all upgrades from Switch 1 games. Where are the other Switch 2 games? You could play $10 of a World Tour. But you also need to have it hooked up to the correct type of TV and also a specific camera accessory. But where are the Switch 2 games? Here's the best part of the Switch 2 discourse. Eventually, it's going to have games. But then again, I've been saying that about PlayStation 5 for how many years, and PlayStation still keeps talking a big game about games coming out next year. Coming in 2025 was last year's favorite tagline. Now it's coming in 2026 is this year's favorite tagline. You know what's coming tonight? Not me. Just this ending.